corrective, or he didn't. It says it right afterwards. It seems to say that he loved him, that he didn't rebuke him or anything.
And the candle, you can look at it. Candle, you can look at it. It shows that you're really a good son. If you're really notified. And we'll go start with the Pesukim and the Yehuda, then go to the Ramban.
Isn't the heat on already?
I don't know, but I'm seeing
It's on.
I'm fine. I will take my jacket off, but I have to put it on afterwards.
Wasn't the heat on? I just turned on and off.
It's on.
No, look at the rabbi. I don't look at anything else but the rabbi.
I opened the door at 10 to 6. I was warm already in the class. It's fine. Thank you.
I'm good. Usually I'm cold. I'm good. I would have said me, Rabbi.
No, because now you have a sweater. Sometimes you come without.
Right. I was showing here how it says right after it says Kibantum Ra'a al Avihem. But you saw a habit. You said why did you put it there right after?
You know what I'm saying. At the contrary, you can say you are the only one that told me the truth about my kids.
You want to say that?
You understand? Which means you really care about.
So meaning that
you really care about the family.
So he loves them even more now after he tells them these things.
So to say, yes. Let's go to page 208. You have enough from a shiv. It is the beginning of a new chapter. The new chapter begins right after Yosef. The previous chapter ends that Yosef was sold to Egypt, and right away we're moving out of the story into Yehuda.
Yeah.
So look how the chapter begins. Vayehi ba'et ha'ih, vayered Yehuda me'et Echav.
Eli. Two.
So right after Yosef, the Psukim are taking a pause.
Yeah.
Yosef was sold. Suddenly we move into the ordeal of Yehuda and his children and Tamar, and then we come back. But look how the chapter begins. Vayehi ba'et ha'ih, vayered Yehuda me'et Echav. If you look at the English translation, Yehuda went down from his brothers. What do you mean went down from his brothers? If you have 11 brothers and you're going to get married, the Torah is using a specific language. Look a second at Rashi, please. Rashi on the right side. 208 on the right column in Rashi. Vayehi ba'et ha'ih, lama nismecha parasha zu lekan. Rashi is asking the question, why is the Torah suddenly falling into basically we're focused on Yosef. Yosef is sold, and later we learn that Yosef becomes the chief of staff in the house of. Why are we sticking this in the middle? Says Rashi, the Lamed, you see the second line? The Lamed she'oridu Echav migdulato. His brothers blamed him. Why? When they saw how serious Yaakov is taking the disappearance of Yosef, as the parasha before says that he was crying and no one was able to comfort him. Amru ata amarta lemocho. You came up with the idea to sell him. Ilo amarta le'ashivo, and you told us, you know what? Let's bring him back home. Wow. So Vayered means your power of convincing Yehuda is a leader. You are the one that basically told us not to kill him, but to sell him. Why didn't you tell us
to free him?
This is real people, yes. It's okay to rethink. Okay, look at the next person.
So Rashi is wondering why the word they lowered him, or why we introduced the subject.
No, it's both.
No,
He says was diminished.
He was lowered because it's written right after. Why is it written right after? Because the brothers.
Okay.
So why did the brothers didn't go down and buy him back?
Careful. They don't
From
know
if
what
they
it
are
is.
so
You mean
sorry,
if someone
they're
will come from Japan to New York to buy back a needle stick? Yeah, needle, what do you do? This is a metropolitan. Where would you find two booty?
try it.
You mean you put on the internet a Jewish, good-looking Jewish boy was. It's not like even today.
You can't find them now. Go
Can
find
you go
somebody
to
in China.
Chinatown to find an item in China?
But later on, when they went down, their plan was to try to find it also
Because
later on.
the regret continues non-stop. This is part of the story.
You don't know.
You can't find somebody in Chinatown.
But yet-
Rabbi,
Yeah.
how does the question fit with any Malchayim of the Torah? Like, what's
Not by stories.
not by?
This is a historical. The Torah is giving us a chronicle story. Yeah.
Oh, so when it's in,
Tell me either before or after. Remember, what's the story that we're about to read? Yehuda got married. He had 2 children, right? They married a beautiful woman, Tamar. They both died.
they just
You
put
do
this in?
realize, of course, in a minute we'll see, according to the Ibn Ezra, the kids died. Whatever you heard before, but who is your wife? She is part of the reason. ויהי בעת ההיא וילד יהודה מאת אחיו, ויט האיש הדולמי ושמה חירה. Okay, he had a business partnership with a fellow חירה.
Do we know who that person is, Robert? Does it have any relevance?
I'm sure it does, but
Okay.
we're not elaborating on it now. It's a good point. Yeah? וירא שם יהודה בת איש כנעני ושמו ישוע. Who cares if who your father-in-law is, and who cares who is your wife? וירא שם יהודה בת איש כנעני ושמו ישוע ויקחיה ויבוא אליה.
Already
He
have a
married-
problem.
He marries, and the Torah tells us that he marries Batish Kanani. So look, if you look at the Rashi, Rashi says
They don't like.
No, they're cursed.
Yeah,
They're
that's what I'm
problem.
saying. It's
it's
problem.
exactly
It's
the
good catch.
Ramban is going to tell us. Noach cursed Ahur Canaan. There is one family that is cursed forever. Is Canaan. Yes. Will you marry her?
Well, you can say yours.
No
Esau
familiar?
went to, he says Esau married the daughter of Ishmael because he was
Correct,
he
correct,
was,
correct.
Yaakov.
Correct. Even Esau understood that my father doesn't like them. Abraham didn't like them and told Eliezer no matter what. And you are taking.
Don't get
So-
So this is all part of the word Vayere.
Of course.
It's
But
on
it's
it's
a
on the
continuous-
slippery slope.
Correct,
On
correct.
his way down.
Now, if you look, in a Canaani normally means Joseph. Canaani normally means that he is from the tribe of Canaan.
But where does it say that? It's in Pasuk?
The pasuk, it's clear.
Pasuk.
It's Peshat.
Second line.
Look at
Second
the
line.
Pasuk Bet, Joseph, the last word in the line. Batish Canaani.
In English, they just put permanent merchant. They don't say Canaan.
They don't say
In
Canaan.
English,
They
doesn't
say
say it.
That's
it.
kind of
I
what
wonder
you
why.
do once in a
It does it?
while.
No, it
Gotta
doesn't say
look
in
at the
English.
Hebrew once in a while.
Don't you think that Rabbi Sherman, who wrote it,
You have to read it.
learned everything we're
Yes.
about to say, we
You don't
learned
wanna
last
get into
year,
trouble.
2
Why,
years.
why did you like it?
He didn't want to get into
In
trouble.
60 seconds, you'll have the answer.
Be patient.
Maybe 30, depends how many questions, how many wisdom we
Maybe
need.
4 minutes.
Rabbi, listen, depends how much wisdom comes out.
Look at the Unkelus.
Yeah.
Unkelus was a Tana that translates the Chumash. Unkelus is not a local rabbi. That's what Unkelus says, the Pasuk. The Chaza Taman Yehuda. Yehuda saw over there, but Gvar Tagar, the daughter of a merchant. So of course, the article
Use merchant.
took it, and look at Rashi, 800 years. So Unkelus is 1400 years ago. Now let's see the Rashi. Rashi says,
And the fourth line.
let's see the Rashi.
Guys, hold on.
Listen.
He says exactly the same word, Tagar. Says the Ramban, both are bothered. It's impossible. Yehuda, the leader, is taking Knani. You know that your grandfather doesn't like it.
Yeah, so
Your father doesn't like it, and you. This is why they are learning Knani. He's a businessman from Canaan.
But I could argue
Oh,
the Torah would never use a word Canaan unless there's something wrong with the baby
Correct,
and not Canaan
correct.
Mama. But there
Eli
has to
is
be
right
a-
on that. If it means a merchant, why do you? Anyway, the Ibn Ezra says, no, he married a Canaani, and because of that, his two children died. Yes. We know what Rashi told us, the way they behaved with their relationship, but the fact that he married a jerk, the daughter of a jerk, this has contributed to the fact his kids came from nowhere. Yeah. Again, not the punishment for him. This is a contributor. This is the way Ibn Ezra says. Ibn Ezra says he lost his two children anyway. Vayikra Batar, she becomes pregnant and she gets a son. Vayikra et Shmo Er. Batar Rod, she gets pregnant again, but Vayikra et Shmo Ona. We know two children. A third child. Batelet Rod Batar, Batosef Rod Batelet Ben, Vayikra et Shmo Sheila. Haya B'chziv Belidata Oto. If you pay attention, this is a source to a fascinating custom, even though in Sephardi community and Ashkenazim we do the opposite too. The boom is much later when they do the law. Look at the pasuk. Batar hod, batar batelet ben vayikra et shmo. What is vayikra? He named the child. Vayikra, he named. That's it. Son number 2, pasuk dalet, batar hod batelet ben vatikra. She named. Here the Ramban says the Torah is revealing us that the custom was that the first child, the husband names. The second, the wife. Today is the opposite, but Ashkenazim and Sfaradi. Very interesting, very interesting. Take the Ramban and say, take the Ramban.
So we have in the community a boy's name.
Don't hear what I'm saying. Who has the right to name the first child? The Torah is openly telling us. Yes?
The father and then the mother.
The Torah tells, to be honest, Joseph, if you look back, when Yaakov starts to have his children, she, Leah, you remember? Who gave the name Reuven? She. Who gave the name Shimon? She. Only by the third son, only by the third. Let's look at the Ramban. What? Everyone. Satisfied. Ashkenazim is exactly the same. There are many wars that are saved by this decision, or maybe many wars are erupting because
Who's naming and what is the name?
yeah.
So who's in our community? Always the first boy is named after the father's father, and the second boy is named after the mother's father. That's our custom. Who's actually naming it? That's the thing. Whose mouth is that name coming out? We don't have any system that we follow.
Look a second. Yes.
In the hospital to decide what name we put on the birth certificate.
Yep.
Here we have a Brit Milah, you know, when you have a Brit Milah every year.
But they announce it officially.
This is already presented. It's
On the wall. But
on the wall, exactly.
The napkins are made.
Look a second.
The printer. Why is the order significant at this point?
There is a rule in this community. If you decide to name your first baby after your name,
But we have cases of where it happened, and there was a reason.
there is a chumash. We follow the chumash. We're trying to point out that somehow the chumash, she named the first.
I had a fight with my wife when you told me because I think it's mine right now. It's my turn. She said no, there's no such thing. The second son.
Go to page 259. 259.
Sure, one page back.
The exact name.
It's
It's not like that.
I had the right page younger.
My
Jay,
grandfather
Jay.
said, my brother said.
You went, I'm not sure it's finished
On the
whether
second
it's
one,
on time.
my
Yes,
my
yes,
father's
yes.
father.
Yes,
That.
you do. בת איש כנעני, הנה, יהביץ למדלת ב'.
No, but now we do more stuff, and it was never so strict.
What?
Naming was never so strict now as what years ago. It was not as strict now.
One grandson
We
would be named
use the
Steve,
initial-
Shlomo.
On the
Years
mother's
ago,
side,
it took the community time to feel we are a Sephardi community. We felt we are Americans. The Americans, let's give the English name. Yes? Think about it.
absolutely.
Today you feel comfortable. We are a community. We have a
Big shame.
tradition.
Listen, my mother didn't have a Hebrew name, right? Yeah, things changed so fast.
Because פסוק ב', בת איש כנעני, סידר רמב"ן נהיה. בת איש כנעני אמר אונקלוס, תגרה איזה מרצ'נט, כלומר איש סוחר שבא לגור בארץ בסחורתו, man who came to display his merchandise. ודעתו לומר, says the Ramban, why is the Onkelos saying it against what all of us said as we read it? כי בני יעקב ישתמרו מנישא כנעניות. The children of Yaakov never married כנעניות כאשר ציווה אביהם יצחק, גם אברהם. וכן הזכירו, says the Ramban, בגמרא מסכת פסחים, so who didn't marry? והיו נשיהם מצריות, יודיס? He preferred married Egyptian ladies, Ammoniyot, Moabiyot, ומייוחסי בני ישמעאל. And descendants of Ishmael, but special
The good ones.
The good ones, exactly. ובני כתורה. Says the Ramban, says the Ramban, ולכך, therefore, ייחד הכתוב על שאול בן שמעון, ושאול בני הכנעני. Keep it open, put your finger here, go further, פרק מ"ו פסוק י'. מ"ו פסוק י'. go to פרק מ"ו. יש בין פסוקים. מ"ו פסוק י'. פרק מ"ו פסוק י'. Not that I remember it, but in my Ramban it says where. Here, look a second. It's page 258 by Yura. You have it?
Yep.
Before Yaakov Avinu is getting ready to go down to Egypt. No, not in the Ramban. No, in the Chumash.
Oh, we really got Ramban.
258.
5-8, brother?
258, yes. Look at Pasuk Chet first. ואלה שמות בני ישראל הבאים מצרימה, the Torah is listing the names of Yaakov and his descendants, okay? Yaakov ובניו, Reuven, the name of children of Reuven. Look now, Pasuk Yud. Bnei Shimon, remember by Reuven there is no mention who the wife. The children of Reuven is Chanoch, Palu. Yud. Bnei Shimon, yes, Yemuel וימין ואוהד, ויכין ושאול בן הכנעני. I told you the Rashi, the Maharal. The Ramban points out, none of the children, yes, no one is mentioned who is the mother, except this child of Shimon, Ben Aknani. Says the Ramban, why? He is the one, the only one that went out of the tradition of the family and married Aknani. Go back to the Ramban Bayaz, go back. So again, they married Mitzriyot, Ammoniyot, Moabiyot, ולכך ייחד הכתוב. This is why the Pasuk is focusing on שאול בן שמעון ושאול בן הכנעני. כי הוא לבדו בהם. The only child married out of the family, so to say, not all his wives, but this particular child.
One grandchild.
Now, of course,
But Rashi gets into the whole
the Ramban himself continues. But also, good, you like good. But Shaul is the name of the kid, that his mother was Knani. וגם שם דרשו what I just mentioned, שהיא דינה שניבלה לכנעני. Again, why is the Gemara giving another interpretation that she was a Jewish woman, Dinah, that was raped by a Knani because of this problem? No one of the children of Yaakov would marry out of the family. How come the Torah says Ben Knani? It means the son of Dinah that was raped by a Knani. Now Ramban continues.
Could this have been the father would have been Shechem on this child?
No, but she, if you say a Knani,
Even though you call her a
remember,
Knani.
she is raped by the Knani.
Right, so is this
Shechem is a Knani.
yeah, but Shaul, so I'm saying this kid Shaul, could the father have been Shechem?
No one. It says
I'm wondering, I'm just asking.
his children. No.
No, okay.
You
Rabbi, could
continue.
it be that he had another wife and this is
He
one
definitely had.
This was just the one.
This is the point. He has 5 kids, 4 he had from kosher woman. The 5th one, the Torah says this one.
So
רבותינו נחלקו בדבר, says the Ramban. Who did they marry? רבי יהודה אומר, יהודיס, תאומות נולדו עם השבטים. Each tribe was born with a twin female, one Esaú. How can you marry your sister? The answer is, they converted them as we saw.
Didn't we have last week in the parsha that Binyamin had two? I think in the parsha Rashi says Binyamin had two.
He remembers when Benjamin was born, he says, and the midwife says, Ki gam zelach ben. Maze gam zelach ben? Two female.
Rashi says she had two.
Rashi
Triplets.
said, well, there, she had triplets, yes.
But maybe they married each other, so they didn't have to marry
This is
their twins.
exactly what he's saying. He's saying the reason why each one married. You ever wonder who did Cain and Abel marry?
Yeah, they married the twin. That was the problem.
Two you need females to
That
get
was
married.
what caused
Not
jealousy.
in New York, but
Didn't one have an extra one?
each
And then he got
one
jealous for
of them, Cain and Abel were born also with female twins.
So how do you learn that they came up with two twins like that?
Because they understood that it's impossible. If you are about to build the house of Israel, they marry the regular garbage around.
Where are they going to come from?
This is basically what they're looking at.
Right, it's hard to say. It's a whole Savara to say that they were born with twins. Like,
No,
there must be a
No, it's
source.
definitely a Kabbalah. Kabbalah means they accepted the generation.
How else would the
I'm
world
saying
grow?
what would trigger you to think like this?
Yeah, okay.
Why shouldn't they marry
that
other
would
people
be
from
Cain
the
and Abel?
neighborhood
Who
and
did they
they
marry?
grow the family?
What we are learning here is that the wife you marry or what I am is affecting the quality of the
Quality
kids.
control.
But you said that they came
Now,
up with
since they are
twins.
cursed, no, I'm saying the locals are cursed. Wait a second. Now,
Joseph, you can understand it more than that anyway. You lived in Turkey. You didn't associate.
you see it today very often when you meet the parents of the kids, all the questions you had to answer.
Yeah.
For good or for bad. Yeah, the minute you read the bed before you start to talk. Yeah, now I understand. Obviously, the parents are invited because of a reason. They walk in. It's a fact. Now, skip few lines about Kol Panim. You see, there is a piece, and the next column by you, about Kol Panim. You like by you have it. Now, Kol Panim, you like by me, I skipped about 8 to 10 lines. Then, ועל כל פנים זה האיש תגר, the husband, the wife of יהודה, למה יצטרך הכתוב לומר כי הוא כנעני?
Yeah.
Why do you have to tell me he marries a woman that בכל אנשי הארץ ההיא כנענים, everyone there is כנעני, מן הפריזי היבוסי, why is that? Says the Ramban, the reason is either to emphasize you did something wrong, or if you go with the interpretation of the Targum, that it means a merchant. Now, I want you to see that the Ramban and the Ibn Ezra very often clash. Ibn Ezra is Ibn Ezra. Here, he agrees with him. Look a second, but in your piece, here, Rabbi Abraham. See Rabbi Abraham here. Here, you have it further. ורבי אברהם is always Ibn Ezra. ורבי אברהם אמר כי בעבור היות האישה הזאת כנענית, ועבר על דעת אבותיו, because you marry out of the tradition of your grandfather Abraham and Yitzchak, says Ibn Ezra, היו בניה רעים ומתו. This is why the children acted terribly, as the Pasuk says, and they died. ולכך הזכירו הכתוב. This is why the Torah is telling us Ben HaKnai, he married a Knaanite, but again, it's not a punishment. They had their own bad behavior, but this is a contributor. ושאול לבדו, says Ibn Ezra, הזכיר שהיה בן הכנענית. Okay.
Do we see Shaul showing up anywhere later on, Rabbi? The son of
No. It's a good question. Right.
He doesn't show up.
But we do know that Shevet Shimon in the future, right? were rising against Moshe, and it says in the text that 24,000 only died from Shevet Shimon. When everything goes back to how you start. I mean, this is what the Torah is teaching us. Abraham is looking for a special woman for Yitzchak, and Yitzchak is making sure Yitzchak and Rivka. Okay, now look a second. Let's jump.
Rabbi, on this, just to pause back to Yehuda, but the big picture of how Mashiach is coming out of this strange situation. Hashem is designing a certain thing that looks ugly, like with Lot. It looks ugly. Is there anything that could we learn from that? Anything? I don't know.
Yeah, all the commentators point out what he's saying. If you follow Tanakh, yes, let's see the story.
I'm sorry.
He's asking.
Came out early on that.
Anyway, the oldest son of Yehuda is marrying Miss Ward, 100 times more. I mean, everyone is attracted to her, but he married her and he died. The second one marries her, yes?
And the daughter of a Kohen.
And he died.
Isn't Tamar daughter of a Kohen, Rabbi?
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, the Torah is clearly rebuking the behavior as far as fine. Look at Pasuk Yud Aleph. We are on page 208, Pasuk Yud Aleph. Yehuda realized that he lost two sons married to this daughter, yes? So the Gemara learns out for me, it's a machloket, but if the Gemara gives an example, a woman that lost two husbands, according to one opinion, men should not marry her, yes?
The third or the fourth?
No, it's a machloket.
Yeah, the machloket,
2 or 3.
Two or three.
Second one they call it a black widow.
וירא פסוק י"א, ויאמר יהודה לתמר כלתו, שבי אלמנה בית אביך, go back to your father, stay there as a widow, עד יגדל שאלה בני, until my son, the third one, באמת is misleading her, he doesn't want to give his third son after he lost two children. This woman,
No.
it's written in the Torah. It's Chumash, but I just told you.
Yes, he died like his brother.
Ki Amar, we didn't finish the Pasuk, Joseph. Look at the Pasuk, Joseph. Pasuk Yudah. Read the English translation for yourself, Joseph. Ki Amar Pen Yamut. Why? Why would he die? Because if
Then don't tell her to go to Ipat. Tell her that don't expect my son. Why is she saying that? Let him grow and I'll give it to you.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Just to Chalitza.
Ki Amar Pen Yamut Gamhu Kecha. He was afraid that he might lose him.
I think she married the brother.
Vatelech Tamar, Vateshev Bet Aviv. She really believes him. She believes.
Yeah.
Eventually, she's going to get the third child.
Was there Chalitza at this point?
Can we just continue? Pasuk Yud Vayirbu Hayamim, the days passed. Yes, and but Tamat Batshua Eshet Yehuda. Yehuda now is losing his wife, who he married. Vadish Knani Vayinachem Yehuda Vayal Al Gozefei Tzono. Yehuda is accompanying his shepherds, but they are going to shear. Who v'chira here? Chira is friend. Chira re'eu adulamit. Good. Now go to page 210. Just turn the page. It's always it's called one in English. It's always an even number. But you got the Tamar, she, the widow, who is waiting to the green light to marry the third child. He's coming to. She is eager to stay in the family. But Tasha Bidel Menuta is the source for the widow. See by the Italians?
They dress in black.
Dress in black, yes.
Widows.
Here, she was
Forever.
dressed as a widow. She removes it. But the cuss, but she covers her face, but it alaf, but Tejev, the Petach Enaim, she said at the intersection, a gorgeous woman sitting at the intersection, Why is she doing it? כי ראתה, כי גדל שלה, the third child of Yehuda is mature, and he לא ניתנה לו, he Joseph. She realizes that Yehuda is delaying. ויראה יהודה, very attractive woman sitting in the intersection, ויחשביה לזונה, he thought that she is a prostitute. היא כיסתה פניה.
Can we just slow down for a moment?
If you teach it to teenagers, what is it? Every prostitute is showing as much as she can from her body. Here
Coming up.
it says she covers up.
Yeah. Coming up.
She covered up when she was his daughter and never saw her face. That's here. I was in your house for 4 years.
You don't even know who I am.
You didn't know. Of course you didn't know.
Rabbi Yehuda,
Yeah, yeah.
Yehuda. We're talking about him like we know him, like he's at the table having coffee with us. He's a billion times higher than where we are.
But this goes back to your
God, I
question
gotta-
before, which
exactly.
we are about to answer. I said before that we are reading the text. Yeah.
I know, but he lost his free will. His free will is taken from him.
It's 2 minutes to 8. It's 2 minutes to 8. by the
It's
way.
repeating what you heard
Yeah.
88 times.
Yehuda on a roadside, gotta understand what we're dealing with. It doesn't make any sense, this whole picture. Makes zero sense. A man of Yehuda's stature, to start looking at a Shamukta, doesn't make any sense at all. It makes zero sense.
But yes,
Doesn't make
in
sense.
a
Man
sense,
is a man.
No,
in a sense,
no, not here, not in this Torah, not in my Torah.
We started the
What do you-
class.
what do you-
We started the class by saying Vayeret, right? Vayeret,
Now you're amazing.
going down the slide.
Your cousin.
And this is.
no, but he is right. When he
So look
saying,
around,
when he
Rabbi
saying
Yisrael,
the
what?
object,
It's not my class, I'm like.
he is saying the Al-Shem. Yes, this is printed 400 years.
That? You know what, you know,
David, what he said is printed 400 years
No, no,
ago,
no,
and he heard it 88 times, and I said,
you told me, I'm
100
repeating what you
times.
told me, Rabbi.
So the commentators point out to a similar situation. Yes. Boaz marries Ruth in a very strange way. If you ever listen to the story, a naked woman who is gorgeous is pushing herself to a judge, a leader. Boaz marrying
It feels in the middle of the night.
It's not the village. Says the Alsher, says when big things are happening in history, it has to be dirty, because otherwise it's not going to be achieved. It's exactly what he's saying. I mean, the language he's using it, that, so to say, an angel came and pushed him against his will. This is exactly what he said. Alsher says it.
What I said, what you told me, Rabbi.
Whatever. ויאמר רבא נעבור אלייך ולא ידעתי כלתו. Okay, but since all the questions we had, we were ready to read the Ramban. Basically, in retrospect, she becomes pregnant with twins, and the child that she has is a grandfather of David. Yeah? So in this union here, that push
All part
gives
of
the
the plan.
dirty,
All part of the
this is
plan.
the beginning of redemption, which basically means that very, very often you see it in Tanakh many times. Otherwise, Chabad, Megillat Ruth, if you remember, mentions the name of one of his children hundreds of years later. Had to be like that. As a matter of fact, question is, after he finds out that she's pregnant for him, did he keep her as a wife or not? There are two opinions in the Gemara. And one opinion is no, he realized this is, if it happened, there's something special.
So then what?
More than, then she becomes a mother of twins, and she becomes, or she became. But the Sephono says that even though this is her father-in-law, and it's before Matan Torah, it says they realize the way it happened, this is the way it should have happened. But this is it, we're not, so to say, a couple. Another opinion, no, we kept her as a woman. We'll continue tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. But exactly what you remember, when you said that. So the Midrash is Malach and pushed it. Which Malach?
They say truth is stranger than fiction.
Which Malach?
Malach was in charge of enticing us to attract a woman.
Yetzirah.
No, but it's a special,
No.
special.
So you didn't have
power.
Yetzirah?
Yeah, but this is not a normal Yetzirah. Not normal. You think about